Hi, I'm Emma McDonnell, and today I'll be presenting our work, Envisioning Collective Communication Access, a theoretically grounded review of captioning literature from 2013 to 2023. The last decade has seen significant evolution in communication technologies, with work meetings increasingly online, social media feeds increasingly video-based, and now viable automated speech recognition systems allowing for new modes of interaction. HCI accessibility researchers have been paying attention to these new tools, with 16% of accessibility papers between 2010 and 2019 focusing on communication access. However, HCI is not the only field with expertise in this area. Theorizing in disability studies, deaf studies, disability justice, and communication studies provides significant insight. But these fields are infrequently used to inform communication technology research. We sought to bring these perspectives together and use them to reflect on a specific accessible communication tool: captioning. Our work was guided by the following research questions. How can disability studies, deaf studies, disability justice, and communication studies thinking inform a theoretical framework of communication accessibility? And what is the state of the last decade of human-centered, accessibility-focused captioning research, and how, if at all, does it align with that framework? To answer these questions, we began by developing a framework, collective communication access. We then conducted a structured literature review of captioning research through this lens. From disability studies, deaf studies, disability justice, and communication studies thinking, we synthesized a framework, collective communication access, that describes an approach to communication technology design rooted in critical perspectives on disability and communication. We invite you to read the paper to learn more about these fields. Our framework has 5 tenets to guide collective communication access research. First, research approaches access as a collective process where all communicators engage in crafting access. Next, interventions prioritize and protect deaf and disabled people's norms, targeting change toward dominant social worlds and technical infrastructures. Third, collective communication access research sets out to counteract historical harms. Fourth, research actively centers the knowledge and expertise of impacted communities. And finally, research considers the role of relational, social, and environmental context in shaping access practices. Having developed our collective communication access framework, we demonstrated its use in analyzing the last decade of human-centered, accessibility-focused communication research. To analyze the last decade of work, we first needed to identify it. So we queried the ACM Digital Library for all publications 2013 to 2023 that use the STEM caption in their title, abstract, or keywords. This returned 795 publications, which we manually narrowed down to a dataset of 73 that took a human-centered approach to studying captioning as a way to make audio accessible. We then turned our framework into a 5-item rubric and assessed each publication with regards to how it met or failed to meet rubric criteria around approach to collective access, target of change, engagement with historical harms, whose knowledge and expertise were centered, and the degree to which the research considers communication context. Let's get into what we found, starting with how captioning research aims to make communication accessible. Primarily, research focuses on improving the designs of captions and caption form factors, without aiming to change the social status quo. This includes a focus on interface design, introducing head-mounted displays, and studying non-interactive contexts. There is a small body of work that considers the behavior of non-disabled conversation partners, such as those generating captions, third-party stakeholders, and direct conversation partners, finding that these parties have a significant stake in communication access. Next, how does research reckon with historical harms and center community perspectives? Most work scopes immediately to specific issues with captioning, and is rarely, though sometimes, connected to deaf and disability studies, history, and activism. There is, however, a growing body of participatory and member research enabling deaf and hard of hearing people to guide the future of captioning technologies. Finally, how does captioning research consider communication context? Often, research aims to control or minimally consider the context around communication, particularly when conducting experiments. There is a small body of work that explicitly studied how context shapes caption use, finding that it plays a significant role in determining efficacy of tools. We'll end with some takeaways from this work. Namely, what is the state of HCI captioning research when viewed through the lens of collective communication access? We avoid many of the harms identified by deaf and disability scholars and activists. But captioning research largely does not consider communication context or see access as a political goal, despite the fact that doing so identifies new access barriers and opportunities for technology development, identifying collective communication access as a promising direction for the future. Thank you so much for your attention. We are excited to share this framework and discuss this work further at Assets.